Hi, this morning I put up a video response to an article but in the Mingbao published in Hong Kong. Some of the comments saying that which I can speak either in Mandarin or repeat it with English. My Mandarin is really bad, so let me just repeat what I was trying to say in English. The article is coming from the Barista Association. Basically it means you have all the eggs broken, but the omelette haven't been made yet. So what the association is arguing is that Hong Kong has been a place where we respect the law, but this time in the Occupy Central with Peace and Love movement, we find that people are actually disobeying the ruling by the courts, and some of them even suggested to the crowd to collectively disobey. So that is a complete violation of one of the fundamental principles which Hong Kong people really cherish, really treasure. I totally agree that Hong Kong people treasure the rule of law, and this is one of the main pillar for the prosperity of Hong Kong. The barrister associations also agree with most of the protesters that the Central Committee in mainland China is unreasonably take away the legal and the political rights of people in Hong Kong. But more importantly, people still protesting in Central while a order is in place to ask them to go back home, and they didn't respond to it, and it is a breaking the law, and that is a very bad precedence. Once we stop respecting the law, we disrespect the rule of law, then a fundamental building block of Hong Kong prosperity is lost. I totally agree with that one. And I also want to point out another bit of viewpoint. The protest in Hong Kong is creating some financial damages. To whom? Well, the financial damages mainly occur to the small businesses around the protest areas, some of the restaurants and some of the smaller shops, and these are the people who really depends on everyday's income. And with this protest lasting for a whole month, then the livelihood of these little businesses are being jeopardized. Well, from the point of view of China do not want to give the Hong Kong people a free choice of their future leaders. It's based on the lack of trust. Chinese Communist Party just don't trust Hong Kong people. Now what they are doing today is actually counter for on their purpose. You are wanting the Chinese government to give Hong Kong a legitimate democracy. You must also at the same time convince the Chinese that yes, people in Hong Kong will be able to select a leader who is also loyal to China. But that is the prerequisite. It is as a part of a country. You can't expect the leader of a region do not respect the rule of the country. So that is a very fundamental requirement. But what has been happening is that we notice that these protest organizers have received funding from foreign sources. For example, I'm referring to is the National Endowment for Democracy. It is organized as if it is a non-government organization, but its funding all comes from the U.S. Congress. So this is a government-organized non-government organization. So it is only non-government organization in name, but nothing in real practice. Well, don't expect the Chinese are so foolish that they can't see that through. You can argue that, okay, we are getting funding from NED, which is non-government organization. Yes, you can say that. But in reality, in fact, this so-called NED, not so-called non-government organization, is funded almost 100% by a country, the Congress of the country. So if you really want to argue that way, nobody will stop you from arguing that way, but that is not what facts on the ground is. So when people look through that and will say, okay, now you have people in external power influencing the activities in Hong Kong. It is counter the purpose of what you are trying to do. What you are trying to do is let the mainland Chinese government understand that people in Hong Kong can organize themselves. But what this protest demonstrating is no, it was influenced by external power. That is counterproductive. So if you're really fighting for the cause of democracy, then this movement is counterproductive. Just put yourself in the shoes of those decision makers in Beijing, then you will understand. I don't think that's too hard. You can't do it. You are not qualified to run a political campaign. Okay, so that's my English version. I hope I explained sufficient enough. Bye.